Guys, welcome to the Real Christian Show. And we're just going to jump right into what we're going to be talking today. Somebody asked me this week, he said, Ben, how do you achieve a permanent change? How do you actually transform not just your behavior, but your nature, your character? How do you change? And that's what I want to talk with you guys today. We do a lot of Q&As and A's and a bunch of other stuff, but we're going to be talking about this specific question. And guys, you need to understand that, and same thing that I responded this guy. There's so many different ways what people change. What motivates them to change or to create a transformation in their life, financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, and all these different things. And there's a lot of them, honestly, and a lot of them, they're pretty valid. One could be, what? I just want to prove people wrong. This chick screwed me over. This guy, whatever, my business partner, my friends didn't believe in me. And you use all that negative energy. And that's okay. That's a great way. I use that a lot in my life. Another one could be, I'm like, I'm a results driven guy. I'm very ambitious. I want to achieve this material goal, or I want to hit this amount of money, or I want this six pack, and you visualize what you want, very specific tangible results, which is very great too. Another great motivation and great intent of why you want to pursue a change or transformation in your life by having a specific result outcome you want. Another one could be, what, guys? Everybody loves me. A lot of people believing me, and they have a lot of faith in me. So I take all that love and positivity, and that inspires me to change. Great part of it too. I believe in all those different things. In fact, in life, you need a lot of them. You need different intentions and motives of why you change and why you do what you do, because sometimes it's very hard. So you need different types of energy. The same thing as a battery that gives the energy to a specific vehicle for it to move forward or function and all these different things. I am convinced that all those three things that I just mentioned, and there are probably more, but all those three things that I just mentioned, they're good battery, but will not get you long enough to where you want to be. And you'd be like, Ben, what do you mean? Then what's the actual thing that can help me the most? And this is what I want to talk to you guys. I'm a true believer that if you actually you want to make a long-term change in your life, not only your behavior, but your heart, your soul, has to come through love. And has to come through love, not only for people, which is very important. It's part of one of those three things. People believe in me, they have faith in me, they love me, all these different things. But I'm talking about love for God and love for our Savior Christ. And I want to share a story with this. There's two stories I want to share, actually. I remember I served a mission for my church. It was a great, amazing experience. And I went to Uruguay for 2 years. And I thought I don't know why, but the word converted was always in the back of my mind. I never want to be this kid again. The kid I was before I left, parties, low confidence, suicidal. I never wanted to be that again. So I always ask myself, how can I be more converted? How can I be transformed? How can I change my character and my nature, not just my behavior, How can I do that? And I experienced a lot of things for 13 months. I was there. For 13 months, I helped a lot of people. My relationship with God was booming. I felt that I was able to participate in a lot of miracles and things that I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm pretty converted. I feel like I've changed a lot. I feel like if I go back, like I'm not going to be that same Ben that I was before. But this is what happened. I got sick. I had a problem, a bacteria in my stomach that the doctors in Uruguay, because medicine, it wasn't like that great, but they couldn't figure out what I had. And I had to go back home for about 6 weeks for me to get better and figure out what I had. During those 6 weeks, the first 2 weeks, I lost every single habit I gained during those 13 months. I stopped reading my scriptures. I stopped praying. I became very lazy. I slowed down. I went back to old habits I had. And I started hanging out with the same dumb people that I used to hang out with. I started partying again. And I couldn't remember those 13 months. I couldn't remember that experience that happened to me, that I thought it was like a life-changing experience. And he killed me. He really did. And I asked myself during those weeks, why didn't I change? Why am I the same guy? What happened? I thought I did. I thought I said I'm this guy and I've helped people and like I love God. Only why am I the same guy? Why? And you know, I read John 21. And if you're familiar with John 21, it's a great chapter and it's one of my favorite ones in the Bible. And I will tell you what happens in John 21. We have when Christ dies and we got Peter and another apostles and they're like, guys, what do we do? You know, like, our master, it's gone. He's gone. What do we do? And Peter said, you know what, guys? And I'm going to add a lot of my own words to this, you know, but he said, you know what, guys? We know how to fish. Why don't we just go back fishing? Like, don't get me wrong, like, these 3 years was sick. It was a great experience. We helped a lot of people. We saw a lot of miracles, and we walked with the Son of God. It was amazing. It was amazing. We experienced a lot. We were instruments in his hands. We saw many things. It was an amazing 3 years. But let's go fishing. Let's go back to what we used to do. Let's go back to what we know to do, what we know how to do. And then went back fishing. And it talks in John 21 that they were there for like an entire night and they could not catch a single fish. They were having a rough day fishing. And, you know, in the lake, they see a figure. They see a figure that calls them. And he asks, have you catch anything? I think he says, children, have you catched anything? And I'm pretty sure, you know, the apostles were like, who the heck is this guy? Like we're here struggling. This guy in like the in the other side of the lake is like asking all these questions, and they're like, no, we haven't catch anything. And then this figure that they still couldn't recognize who he was, he said unto them, cast the net to the right side of the boat, and ye shall find. And I'm pretty sure at some point somebody's like, all right, who the heck is this dude? Like, we're out here, we know how to do this job, and this dude is not even wet, and he's like all safe in the shore, and he's gonna tell us how to fish. I don't know if that happened. I'm just saying that maybe somebody did, but they did, and they put the net on the right side of the boat, and they couldn't pull the net to the inside of the boat because of the amount of fishes that were in the net. And that's when they realized, and somebody said, it's him. It's Christ. And then Peter just jumps off the boat and starts swimming and gets to the to where this figure is Christ. And they're having this amazing conversation that are really is so inspiring. Like all the questions and why he asks certain things is so inspiring. But anyway, Christ has this conversation that I truly believe for Peter was a transformation, true conversion in his life. And he always told him, when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. But I truly believe, because then after John is Acts, the Acts of the Apostles, and they're like miracles, changing the world, preaching the gospel, and a lot of things happen. But this is the catalyst, the thing that ignited everything for Peter's life. And this is what happened. Christ is having a conversation with Peter, and he asks him, Peter, do you love me? And Peter says, yeah, I do. And Christ thinks about it for a minute. I'm pretty sure he pointed at the fishes and the boats and everything, and he said, Peter, do you love me more than this? Than your job? Than these fishes, these boats, and what you do? I'm pretty sure Peter kind of like weirded out, but he's like, yeah, yea, Lord, I love you. You know that. You just asked me. I do love you. And then I'm pretty sure Christ takes a deep breath and he asks for a third time, Peter, do you love me? And that's when Peter says, yeah, I do. I really do. I do. And that's when Christ tells him, if you love me, feed my sheep. If you love me, why the heck are you here? If you truly love me, why are we in the same place that I found you the first time? If you truly care about me and my work, why are you here again? Why did you go back? Why? And I'm pretty sure Peter had to go look deep into his heart and soul and ask himself, do I? Do I really love these men? Do I really care about his work? Do I really, his love, does that mean something to me? And I'm pretty sure in the beginning he realized that he did not love God enough because his fruits did not reflect that love. And that's exactly what happened to me. That's when I realized, crap, I don't love this guy. I really don't. I've said I do. I've said it for multiple times. I talked to people. I said it. I talked about it. I thought I did. But you know what? My fruits do not reflect that. Because I went back. I went back. And I had to ponder about my life and truly dig deep into why I, Ben Patch, love that man. And what has he done for me? And what has his influence mean in my life? And why is it so important? And guys, when I started thinking and pondering and realizing that that man saved my life, that man took me out of every single deep hole, dark hole that ever been in my life, when I had no one, he was the only guy that showed me the light, that made me feel that I mattered, that I was loved, that I had a purpose. The only one. When I didn't have anybody else. When I almost took my life in 2017, he was the one that helped me carry that and overcome. And when I started pondering on all those things, I promise you that there was something in my heart that was just transformed. I can't explain it in words, but it's a spiritual energy transformation from inside that externalized to all the outside stuff that you do. And since then, when I was able to go back, I made a commitment to myself. I, Benjamin Patch, will never be the same again. And that started my journey when it came to my true discipleship and when it came to me never going back to doing the same dumb stuff that I used to do. And guess what? I have made a lot of mistakes during my path, during my years. But my love for that man has transformed my life. And I'm not claiming to be this holy righteous because I'm freaking not. I'm way far from it. But I truly believe I've been able to make a lot of progress in my life and truly not just be transformed in my behaviors, but in my nature, in my character, by loving him. And I truly believe that love is the only battery and the only true why, that will last long enough and has the power enough to change you and to change anyone who's willing to truly say, I love you. And because I love you, I will change and I will be better. And I'm going to transform my life. And guys, I promise you, anything else that is not that foundation will run out of energy, will run out of battery, and you will become bitter at some point in your life. If you can make this your foundation of why you change, why you want to be converted, why do you want to be transformed, why do you want to make these huge breakthroughs in your life, and then you add, yeah, people love me, believe in me, prove people wrong, and driven by materialistic specific stuff, that's the right way to do it. But you need a strong foundation on someone whose love for you will never change. And that's him. On someone whose intention and desire for you will never change. For someone who cares more about you than anyone else. So going back to that question, how do I create a lasting change in my life? By having a strong why, a strong love for your God, for your Savior, and your Redeemer, and what He has done for you. That's the only way. Everything else will not last long enough. It might help you for months, a couple months, whatnot, a year or two, but it will never create a long-lasting, permanent change in your heart and soul. We're talking about transformation. We're talking about conversion. We're talking about an inside heart, soul, change of desire. And this is the only way. You know why? Because you are a spiritual being having a physical experience. You're not a physical being having a physical experience. You were created spiritual first. And then all the other stuff came with it. God, guys, I love you. I really do. And I care about you guys a lot. This is why I do all this content. This is why I share my experience and my heart with you, because I feel obligated to share what I've gone through in my life, so you guys don't waste the same amount of time and don't make the same mistakes. And I'm going to share with you the same invitation. And I'm going to ask you, do you love Him? Because if you do, you have a lot of work to do. If you do, you have a purpose in your life, and there's people waiting on you. And there's a big expectation from Him towards you, because He knows who you are. He knows you by name. He knows what you've gone through, and He knows your heart. Share this episode with somebody that you feel needs to watch it. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Real Christian Show. And anyway, love you guys. Hopefully this helped. This worked. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Much love. Take care. Bye-bye.